I consume a lot of content weekly. Not all of it is good, but I'll spare you guys those details. On the other hand, some are interesting to the point where I want to share them with you. While the collection of article highlights will stay relatively within the roundhouse kick circumference of my normal subject matter, you will see some variety that gets thrown in from time to time because I am sort of a renaissance man in my weekly reading. As an example, I've been really nerding out lately around gene editing and CRISPR technology, but again, I will spare you guys those details this week, and maybe I'll throw them into later weeks. But not to waste too much more of your guys' time, because I do want to keep these particular pieces of content short and digestible in nature. Here are 5 of the most interesting things that I read during the week. Number 1, cryptocurrencies just became besties with PayPal's 346 million users. PayPal recently announced new features that will let customers buy, sell, hold, and pay with cryptocurrency within their accounts. Initially, it will only support Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin digital currencies. Sorry, CryptoKitty holders. Maybe the next round of additions will make your digital currencies available. The payments giant is one of the largest financial services providers to venture into the world of cryptocurrency, following its competitor Square, whose founder Jack Dorsey is a longtime proponent of Bitcoin. These moves come as central banks across the globe are also exploring cryptocurrency, with 1 in 10 central banks representing about a fifth of the world's population expecting to issue its own digital currencies within the next 3 years. The shift to digital forms of currency is inevitable, and PayPal's move will significantly increase cryptocurrency's utility. Digital currencies, in my honest opinion, play a major role in the future of global finance and commerce. Starting early next year, PayPal's 346 million customers will be able to shop the network's 26 million merchants with digital currency, which the service will convert to regular old fiat currency for merchants to receive. While cryptocurrency's volatility on the market has posed a risk for shoppers and merchants in the past, PayPal believes its conversion services will lessen that risk, as PayPal itself will be handling price fluctuations while merchants get their traditional monies. PayPal also said it will bring its cryptocurrency services to its peer-to-peer payment subsidiary Venmo by mid-2021. The second most interesting article that I read is around solving a major problem right now with having to smell your hot, stinky breath when wearing your face mask. But Hormel Foods has come up with a solution for that problem. Whether it's disposable, fabric, or printed with your favorite whatever fashion statement you're trying to make, you've probably started to collect your fair share of face masks. For many of us, they've unfortunately become just as essential as grabbing your cell phone when heading out the door. While I can name endless annoyances with face masks, the worst might be having to breathe a bit of your own breath after eating something deliciously gnarly and forgetting your chewing gum. What does this have to do with Hormel Foods? They came up with the perfect solution to make your already steamy mask experience all the better. They launched a Hormel Black Label breathable bacon mask that is scented with bacon. It seems Hormel Foods thought outside the box, or in this case maybe the pan, with a product innovation that connects everybody's favorite smell to the year's it accessory. This is a great example of how to turn trending culture and utilizing it within experiential marketing. Those interested in this bacon-flavored face mask can enter for a chance to win the truly unique product on www.breathablebacon.com. The third piece of information I thought was pretty interesting that I wanted to share you guys is that not even the local smoothie artists are safe from robots one day taking their dreams away. Walmart has introduced a smoothie making robot called Blended to its store in Fremont, California. With this move, Walmart has joined many other retailers in their quest to combine the efficiencies of robots with the contactless food and drink orders. This summer, Heinen's and ShopRite turned to Sally, a salad-making robot, to prepare and dispense made-to-order salads. Additionally, restaurants, especially fast food chains like White Castle and McDonald's, have already started using robots to replace human employees. But unlike the burger flipping robotic arms, grocers have opted for food and beverage options capitalizing on the consumer's health needs. As the coronavirus pandemic continues, autonomous kiosks like Sally and Blended can tackle labor shortages and consumers' coronavirus concerns at grocery stores. But the technology isn't cheap, as I found out that Sally, the salad-making robot terminal, costs around $35,000. Are you weirded out by robots making your food and drink? Buckle up, friend, because we are finally entering into more episodes of the Jetsons, and things are about to get weird, or fun, depending on your view of this stuff. The fourth interesting thing that I read is around Danone, hoping that the old adage, if you measure it, it will improve, applies to its ESG goals. If you remember from college, if you're a business major, or maybe some other modalities as well, there's a thing called SMART goals. They are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-specific. Danone, the $28 billion French food group, has turned its environmental, social, and governance, or known as ESG principles, into a newly adopted carbon-adjusted earnings per share metric. This move was designed to expose the financial cost of carbon emissions on its entire value chain and help investors better understand the firm's environmental impact. I believe this is an exceptionally important step that Danone took and will force publicly traded competitors to make similar adjustments, as this comes at a time of growing investor interest in companies that abide by ESG principles. It will eventually become a reference point for investors assessing the carbon productivity of companies. Danone is part of One Planet for Biodiversity alongside 20 other companies, which is described as an international cross-sectional, action-oriented business coalition on biodiversity with a specific focus on agriculture. Danone believes they need to go beyond competition when it comes to biodiversity, and it did announce in 2015 it aims to achieve carbon neutrality on its full value chain by 2050, aiming to be one of the first multinationals to make a pledge. While noble, Danone also understands that the consumer is behaving in a more conscious way and are asking companies to play their part. It's no longer just about low prices and products being good. Companies should also have a good environmental impact. And the last most kind of interesting article that I did read was that Adidas is said to be social distancing itself from its Reebok brand. Sportswear giant Adidas is considering selling its Reebok brand, which it bought in 2006 for about $3.8 billion in a bid to stay competitive with U.S. sportswear rival Nike. During the pandemic, Reebok has struggled more than the Adidas brand, with Reebok's revenue falling 42% year over year in the latest quarterly earnings. In 2007, about 25% of Adidas' total retail sales came from Reebok, but after much of the last decade's declines, Reebok now only makes up 6.4% of Adidas' total sales. As Reebok slowly began to lose its contracts to make sports uniforms and apparel to professional sports leagues and college teams, it began repositioning itself as a largely fitness-oriented brand, just as it had been during the 80s and early 90s. Reebok partnered with CrossFit and group fitness program Les Mills, phasing out the OG Vector logo and replacing it with the CrossFit Delta symbol, and utilizing it across all of the brand's fitness line. This proved confusing to most consumers, as many still related Reebok with the old Vector logo along with the original Reebok script. And in late last year, they actually decided to restore the company's core brand identity. To me, it seems like most of the heavy lifting has already been done by Adidas, as they closed underperforming Reebok stores and allowed some licensing deals to expire, thus cutting expenses considerably with the Reebok brand. I'd be surprised if there won't be a considerable amount of interested parties, including VF Corporation, which owns Vans, North Face, and Timberland, and China's Anta International Group Holdings, which is the owner of Fila. It's said that Adidas hopes to get a purchase price of around $2.4 billion from selling Reebok and hopes to finalize an announcement by the end of the first quarter of 2021. Well, I hope you guys found those kind of highlights of articles as interesting as I did. If you guys read anything exceptionally interesting throughout the week that you wanted to share, would love to hear those in the comments below, or contact me on any of the social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to help support me, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on this video. If this is the first time you've been introduced to my videos, would love for you guys to be a part of my community by subscribing to my channel. I upload several videos just like this weekly. And if you guys want to connect further outside of this platform, I do include all of my social media links down below. I just want to thank you guys again for your time. Hopefully I gave you some value in return, and we'll see you guys on the next video.